gave them to him. His Father gave the Lord Jesus Christ everything he needed to build the ultimate temple, which is his body, which is his church. We see this with David. King David wanted to build a temple for God. God told David, "You cannot build my temple. You are a bloody man. You are a bloody man. You cannot build my temple." But David hired everybody that was needed to supply all of the materials to build the temple. David hired the woodworkers. David hired the metal workers. David brought all the gold. David brought everything that was needed to build the temple. But God told David, "You cannot be the one to build it because you are a bloody man. Your mission was battle, not temple building." But David set aside all of the materials needed. And guess who built his temple? Solomon did. His son. Solomon was the one who built it, David's son. In the same way that God the Father started off running Israel, the nation of Israel, as a theocracy. As a theocracy. They rejected God and wanted a king. And God decided to give them what they wanted. And the first king was Saul. And we had about another 21 other kings to follow. And out of those 22 kings, only 8 of them were good. But Solomon would come along, and all those materials were given to him to build the temple. God the Father chose every one of his living stones before the foundation of the world. The Lord Jesus Christ was given everything that he would need to build his church. He was given by his Father. Just like David gave Solomon all that he needed to build the temple, the Father gave the Lord Jesus Christ all of the lively stones that he would have for his son Christ to build his church. And that is one of the most beautiful stories in the scriptures. And when Christ tells us that the gates of hell shall not prevail, this should breathe the life of security and assurance into the soul of every breathing Christian. Every breathing Christian. Somebody says the Bible is a fairy tale. The Bible is a fairy tale if you don't believe it. It is a fairy tale if you don't believe it. But the Bible wasn't written for people who believe it's a fairy tale. The Bible was written to be the means of reaching those whom God has given to Christ to build his church. So Christians, don't be afraid to engage in the war out there. You know why? Because Jesus said himself, the gates of hell shall not prevail against his church. Go to war and be fruitful. And may God bless you all this very night. Be provoked and be persuaded.